AI is transforming our lives. From patient medical treatments, to enhancing public safety, to transforming education, energy, transportation, retail, and more. But unfortunately, many AI inference possibilities can't be realized due to the major complexity and cost barriers created by today's CPU-centric infrastructures. NeuReality is redefining AI infrastructure, making it easy, affordable, and faster, enabling AI to be deployed everywhere it can make a difference. This demonstration will highlight the incredible efficiency and performance scalability NeuReality AI infrastructure can achieve when running an image classification application. Let's start with linear scalability, and specifically, server scalability. The Cluster Manager application enables us to run various tests while setting variables to configure a Kubernetes orchestrator. For this test, we'll create 4 clusters and vary the number of servers per cluster from 1 to 4. Then we'll assign 12 clients to each cluster. Each server inferences a consistent 3,750 frames per second, enabling each cluster to achieve a linear multiple of that figure based on its server count. And the clusters provided uniform distribution of bandwidth between all clients without degradation. Now let's show NeuReality's client scalability. For this test, we're creating 4 2-server clusters and doubling the number of clients each cluster serves, starting at 4 and going up to 32. Each cluster inferenced 7,500 frames per second, with each server inferencing 3,750 frames per second, unaffected by the number of clients it serves. And note that each client receives an equal proportion of its cluster's total frame rate. This demonstrates NeuReality's ability to deliver truly linear performance, cost, and power scalability across any number of clients without degrading server performance, in complete contrast to CPU-centric architectures that suffer from severe degradation when scaling. Ensuring quality of service is critical for AI as a service. Whereas CPU-centric architectures use expensive software-based SLA enforcement, creating performance bottlenecks, NeuReality's AI hypervisor offloads SLA enforcement to hardware, reducing cost and power with no performance degradation. To demonstrate, let's create 2 8-server clusters with 16 clients per cluster. The SLAs for each client vary, as shown here. As the demo results appear, you can see we have achieved each client's SLA across each cluster with no performance degradation. Our next demo will show the flexibility of our AI hypervisor across different compute elements, shown here. We'll set up and run 3 tests, each with a 1-server cluster and varying numbers of clients. In the first test, the AI hypervisor uses the deep neural network engine to inference 3,750 frames per second, as we've seen before. The second test sends the AI tasks to the ARM CPUs, utilized as compute to run TensorFlow Lite, and you can see the significantly lower AI performance delivered. And the third test loops back at the AI hypervisor and shows how, by removing the bottlenecks of the CPU and PCI network, we can achieve far greater performance, up to 19,000 frames per second on a single server, limited by the 25 gigabit Ethernet link. Next, we will use the same 3 tests we just showed, but show the latency results of each test. As you can see in the results, ARM CPU latency is high, at 2100 milliseconds due to compute time, which is a steep latency penalty when near real-time inferencing results are needed. The deep neural network's latency is only 1.8 milliseconds, and the ultra-low latency of the loopback code is 0.5 milliseconds, caused by latency in the client, the network, and the server logic. This demonstrates the advantages of NeuReality's AI over Fabric. This final demonstration shows the value of offloading the compute-intensive pre- and post-image processing tasks onto our AI-centric server on a chip versus the performance drop when 8 clients are loaded with image pre- and post-processing. As you can see, our hardware-based offload enables us to achieve 3,750 frames per second. In contrast, the 8 CPU-based clients show total throughput of only 1,540 frames per second, or only 190 frames per second per client, reinforcing how much more costly it is to add enough CPU horsepower to achieve sufficient performance. These demonstrations clearly show that NeuReality's redefined AI-centric system-level approach to AI inferencing can deliver vastly superior linear scalability, quality of service, and flexibility, as well as ultra-low latency and AI pipeline offload for reduced TCO versus traditional CPU-centric infrastructure. At NeuReality, we're shattering the cost barriers of many game-changing AI deployments, enabling us to create a safer, cleaner, and smarter world.